But, you also have these new organizations in the Guard and Xset that are really making, and yeah, Xset's been around for a while. Guard's been establishing themselves, but it's really cool to see these orgs really sit on top of names like Evil Geniuses and 100 Thieves, which is quite fascinating to see the development of these young rosters and how they've been blossoming. But we'll, of course, focus on that a little bit later on. But moving on, though, to Group B, version 1, they're still sitting at the top there, but it's a flimsy one because Sentinels, they also have an opportunity to maybe overtake for just a little while here against version 1. They could maybe go up 3-0, but Mimi, it does seem like Group B is pretty wide open right now. I mean, even with NRG sitting at 0-2, it's still crazy how this group has been playing out.
I mean, yeah, there's quite a few more weeks of play, and I think this today with our match between Sentinels and Optic is going to be the day where we really start to establish the lines for who's taking that second place spot, because version 1, they've looked insane. Like, they blazed through the qualifiers practically flawlessly. But for Optic and Sentinels, it is teams that have played each other. Like, I think today will be like the 14th time we've seen this head-to-head matchup. It's constantly a brawl back and forth, and I think the teams are so similar in their skill level that really anyone could be taking that second spot, which means like the bottom 2 qualifying spots into the playoffs wide open. Even NRG down at 0-2, like you said, could definitely make a run for that.
It's going to be some interesting stuff without a doubt, but here are the matches that we're going to be checking out today because we got some great games, some bangers, as the kids say. So we have Sentinels versus Optic Gaming, which, by the way, feels like I'm still talking about Halo here in Deja Vu because you got another Sentinels Optic Gaming matchup. So that's crazy. And then we also we're going to close things out with Group A action. It's going to be the Guard versus Xset. Those are going to be your matches today, Saturday. Don't forget Sunday. We're going to have some great ones too. Luminosity versus 100 Thieves. Followed by version 1 and NRG. So the number 1 team taking on the bottom team in Group B is certainly going to be very, very exciting to watch. But let's go ahead and shift our focus to this upcoming matchup because it's Optic Gaming facing off against Sentinels, the newly christened Optic Gaming lineup. And I heard in the broadcast, Vans, a few of you guys had a hard time adapting from NV to Optic Gaming. Hopefully that doesn't happen here today, but we got ourselves an excellent roster here, Mimi, with Crashies, Victor, Marv, FNS, and Ye, and team in Group B is certainly going to be very, very exciting to watch. But let's go ahead and shift our focus to this upcoming matchup because it's Optic Gaming facing off against Sentinels, the newly christened Optic Gaming lineup. And I heard in the broadcast, Vans, a few of you guys had a hard time adapting from NV to Optic Gaming. Hopefully that doesn't happen here today, but we got ourselves an excellent roster here, Mimi, with Crashies, Victor, Marv.
The match that I want to talk about from that event is where this Optic Gaming squad was playing against Sentinels. This is a rematch from that tournament over in Berlin, and in that series, Ye was looking incredible, facing up against what many consider to be the best duelist in the world in tens. Ye was just absolutely owning him. Both these guys are very similar in that they are hyper aggressive Jet players. If you look at the statistics for opening duel attempt, 1 in 3 rounds, both these duelists are trying it. And when we were looking at Masters 3, that was still the case in their quarterfinal, but Ye 76% of the time. He was successful in it. That means almost 20% of the rounds played as a whole in that series for Optic was a round where Ye had them a 5v4 off the rip. And if you look at their conversion statistics, almost 80% of the time that they are getting that opening pick, they're converting. When Ye is fragging, when he is being that entry that we know he can be, he is shutting down teams, and he proved that it's not just against smaller opponents. It's not just against tier 2. This is a grand final. This is second place at an international tournament team, and Ye was performing then, and he hasn't fallen off here back at home either.
The thing is with Ye, though, it was exactly that. As soon as he joins this roster for Envy, you almost had this strat of, hey, Ye, go kill, and it's working out. Because you mentioned it, Mimi, he did have a pretty decent job at Andbox, but being more of a support role for Android back then. Yeah. But now he found his footing as being that star fragger in the first run, in this honeymoon phase, into Berlin. But then after that, they got shredded by Gambit, and then you're still trying to find how you really want to go about with that playstyle. And I think this is where I find that since last last week, we've seen a great evolution of Optic, where Ye actually takes slowly a step back because he's playing a little bit more chamber depending on the maps, but he has a very good supporting cast around him, and that being it's Victor that's able to step up to the plate, support him, and get in positions as KO, for example, in Icebox, and flash him into positions. And not only that, also frag when needed be. So I think that Optic overall with that, though, is looking even more concise as a team.
Yeah, it's actually quite scary when you think about, like, it's nice when you can go from a kind of a solo carry type of situation to then being like, no, actually, let me still do my thing. But